Hello and welcome back to Driver's Garage. This is my Meglio, playing about in the garage again. Today we're doing a bit of track day prep. We've got 2 track days coming up. We've got Blighton Park next Saturday and Anglesey the Sunday after. So we're going to get a little bit of a service. We've got new coolant to replace the pink stuff that's in it at the minute, new oil and a general oil filter. Brake fluid I've already done, but I'm going to just top it up and double check it's all bled. And some new gear oil because I don't know the last time it was done. Based on the brake fluid, probably not recently. So we need to get it up in the air, get the wheels off, get the under tray off, and have a look at what we're doing. I've already had it running for a little bit, so engine's a bit warm, oil will come out a little easier. So we go. It's up in the air, one wheel's off, the other wheel's strong because I forgot to break off the wheel nuts before I put it up, and they're a little bit too tight, so I'm just waiting for my nut gun battery to charge. One wheel's here. It's worthwhile doing if you're going to do a track day. Have a look over your tyres while they're off. Just check for any bulges, delaminations, anything like that. So I'll do that as well to that one when I get it off. What we've got to do next is if we go down here, you can see, pardon my fat finger, that under tray. That needs to be removed so you can get to the sump and various other bits and bobs, which is just held on by a couple of fixings across the front, a couple of fixings at the back, just like 10mm bolts, and you'll be able to get access to everything then. Right, the under tray is off. As you can see, it's all very dirty. Under tray is here, and a load of bolts and stuff. Now these have a radiator support, which if you look there, and it goes across there, they are notorious for rusting out. I dropped the engine cover off and mine looks actually pretty solid, apart from just under here it's starting to rot through a little bit, to the point the screw holes, the actual threaded parts, are coming out. So I need to have a look at changing the radiator support. A few companies do them. You can get them general from Renault. You can get an aluminium one from Wheeler Motorsport, which does away with these bits and just has an aluminium bar there for a bit of added lightness, but you can't keep the under tray. Or alternatively, I think BTT Motorsport do a brand new manufactured one for not a lot of money. Also, you can see it's very dirty under there. It's probably been a while since that's been off and anything cleaned. But what we've got, if you let me shimmy under, you've got a drain plug there, which if you notice is not a Allen bolt, it's a square. It's a special tool, but you can buy them for Machine Mart or various other motor factories for not a lot of money. So I'm going to drain the oil out and go from there. Right, the oil's draining. Just leave it to go for a bit, just get the last dregs out. The oil's not particularly clean, but it's no metal shavings, not ridiculously dirty, so it's all good. While that's draining, we're going to have a look at doing the oil filter. On the Megane, the Clio, you'll see it's right there. Trying to get this focus. There we go, there. You can get to it from the bottom, but the radiator hose in the way, or you can get to it through this tiny little gap. Neither's ideal, but I think the bottom is going to be the best bet. Yeah, I'll have a look at that. The oil's out. A little bit dirtier than I'd like. Missed it. A little bit dirtier than I'd like, but overall, not too bad. The main thing is there's no particles, no shimmer to it, anything like that. So that's not bad. Didn't actually do the filter yet. Quite a bit of a bugger to get to. That is the oil. Oh, focus, you stupid camera. That's the only oil filter removal tool I've got that fits. So, yeah. Filter's off. Not the easiest thing I've ever done. Working in a very small gap, literally just up that gap there. You can see a little bit of filter run there, oil run there from the filter. But it's off. Managed it with this tool here, which just wraps around the filter, and as you tighten it, it just wraps around there and under it. Not the easiest, but it's done. Always make sure this rubber ring comes off, this seal. If it doesn't come off when you put your new filter on, seal goes onto seal, and then it just pisses outside basically. But new filter there will give the safe to clean up, to make sure there's no crap stuck to it. Chuck that on, and then we can top the oil up. Always make sure you chuck your sump plug in. My sump plug is there. New sump plug seal, or copper washer, what you want to call them. Always use one of them. I have forgot to put that in before and just dropped oil all over my drive when I was a bit younger. So you learn quickly from that one. So that one goes in the bin. That one, chuck a little, just a fingertip of oil around there to make it sealed, and that just goes on hand tight. Literally, pretty tight by hand, but don't think you need to use a tool to get it on. Luckily, that one wasn't too tight, but I have seen people put them on with them tools and the proper socket cups and everything. So just don't do them ridiculously tight, otherwise you'll never get it off again. Pet peeve of mine. But yeah, chuck some oil on the seal, squeeze back up the gap, chuck that on, and then we can chuck some oil in. Right, the filter is on. It's down there, you can't see it. I've took the crossover pipe off because this was all annoying me. It's a bit mucky, so I've got myself a rag, bit of brake parts cleaner, other brands are available. Gear blast, gear wipe, just tidy up a bit. Right, it's all cleaned up, well, clean as you can get it. Aluminium's a bit oxidised, but it is what it is. I'd have thought, while the crossover pipe's off, the modification I've been wanting to do for a while, obviously it sits over the engine. It gets quite warm. So what I bought is some of this heat reflective tape. Try and cover it so that it doesn't take as much heat on maybe. It might be a complete waste of money, it might not. We will find out, but I think this is a cheap stuff. You can get good stuff from the likes of Funk Motorsport and that. This is just a cheap stuff off eBay, and that's how it looks. And there you have it. Looks very race car-y. Should hold a little bit of heat away from the crossover boost pipe. And takes away from the rest of the engine bay looking like crap. Overall, winner. Next up, gearbox oil. Something I'm reluctant to do because, oh, wrong side. I've still not, and you're all going to get on me for this, but I've still not thought of that CV boot. And it's a pig of a job because the hub swivel things aren't simple. So I don't know whether to send it like it is and order a CV boot, because the track day is next week, or do the gearbox oil and then potentially do it again with the CV boot, because it's probably not done for a while anyway, so like flush it out. But one other mod I want to do is replace the brake pins with the Porsche style kit, which if we go to the back of the garage, yeah, just replace with like a stainless pin with an R-clip instead, so it's easier to change them, and they're less likely to seize. It's only a 2-minute job, so what's next? And it's as simple as that. Just knock the old pins out using a punch. Where's a punch? There it is. It's actually a nail with the end round off because my punch is too big. Just knock them through, push them out the other side, put these ones in, put the R-clips in, put the spring plate back on, jobs are good in. And when it comes to changing them again, all you do is pull these little R-clips out and it just pulls out. Nice and easy. Beautiful. Next up is the gearbox oil. Right, the gearbox is obviously down there. So the drain for it, if we climb back under the car, I believe is, nope. Honestly, I'm not sure. Right, I'll have a look, I'll come back to it. Sorry about that, you can't actually see it. It's there. It's the same as the sump plug, one of them stupid little square things. So that drains it all over this brace, which is good design, I suppose. And then the fill is a little wing nut there. I know lighting's not brilliant, but you've got a little wing nut there. You literally undo it and get it in there. So you could probably do with some kind of siphon or long funnel or something, I'm not sure. But I'm thinking that is going to go all over this brace. So we can either put something under it to like direct it down into the drain pan, put the drain pan under here, or remove this brace, which is not a big deal. It's just like a piece of sheet metal. Can always go back on. I assume they are captive bolts. So yeah, right, bugger it. I'm going to try and take this brace off. Just bolt, same side, bolt, and then there's just a hole, which is access for the dog bone mount, I think. I don't think that's actually attached. No, it's not. No, that's good. Easy peasy. Just them 4 bolts, drop that brace, and then we can get to that little drain plug. Ignore previous statement. It's actually 10mm hex for some reason. Not quite sure why. Everything else has been them stupid square things. There it is off. It's still got a little bit on the subframe, but nothing too major. It was ridiculously tight, but I managed to get it off. And it's draining there into my drain pan with my engine oil, making a mess. Now the fill is that little wing thing there, which I think the best course of action is going to be through the arch liner. I'll meet you in the arch. Right, we're in the wheel arch. The oil's drained and the plug's back in. I've had to reuse the washer because the washer I ordered turned out to be wrong, and I can't get another washer at the minute. It shouldn't be a massive problem, you shouldn't reuse them, but it is what it is. I still need to do a CV boot on the other side, so I'll be changing the oil again in a couple of weeks, no doubt. So the inner arch, this thing here, comes in 2 pieces in these Clios. Back piece, front piece. Held on with these little fir tree plugs, I think they call them. It's got one there, one there, one there, and that's it. Underneath at the front, there's 2 little screws as well, which you can avoid undoing. Be the terrible for cracking as well, but don't pay attention to that. So I'm going to pull these fir tree plugs out. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there you go. Another one. 4. And we should have access to that fill plug. Right, the arch liner's off. Just them fir tree fittings or plugs. Them screws which go into on the side here. Here, the arch liner's off. The gearbox fill is there. Might be difficult to see there, but it's right there. Literally just, oh, it's a bit tight. There we go. Screws off. As you can see, you're not be able to really just pour it in there. So you can't just pour it in. So you can do a couple of things. One, you could make yourself a funnel and a tube. Just put the tube in the hole, pour in the funnel. Or you can use something a bit more professional, easier. So I've just been and bought one of these. I did have a big syringe like grease gun type thing, but I don't know where I've put it, so I'm going to give this a go. Put in, it's supposed to be like 1.9 litres, but you can never get the full amount in because there's always residual left over from the last lot of oil. So we'll top it up, just keep filling it up until it starts to come out of the hole. When it starts leaking out, it's full. I thought I'd just show this because it's a lot easier with this pump. Literally just put like 400 million so far, just put the tube up into the hole and pump it. And it's slowly but surely going into the gearbox. No hassle at all. And there we have it. Gearbox is full using that little pump I showed you. So I've put the plug back in, put the little fill screw back in, put the arch liner back in using these stupid little fir tree plugs. Stitch this crack up as well to try and stop it moving about too much. So that's engine oil done, engine filter done, gearbox oil done. We should be good and track day ready. Need to put the under tray back on and that subframe brace. Just cleaned them all up, some cleaning stuff there, just letting them all dry off now. Just need to put all that back together, and that's the car serviced. Could probably do with some new spark plugs, don't know, last time they were done. And the coolant really does need a change, but I've opted not to do it because, well, I need to do some modifications basically. I have bought, see here, some Airtech stuff, which I'll do an install video on as well if anybody's interested, which will probably mean this get relocated and all the coolant system changed around a little bit. So we'll see how we get with that. But there we go. Hope this video has been used to somebody. If not, then sorry for wasting your time. That's me out. Thank you.